welcome back to Midday. We're joined now by federal NDP candidate Bill Sundhu. How are you?
I'm well. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you on. So you've got lots going on right now. You're officially launching your campaign on Wednesday, but you've kind of been active already for a good year.
Yeah, I was nominated August 9th, 2014, and since then we've been very busy throughout the riding. You know, right from Lac-La-Hache down to Kamloops and right up to Blue River.
Exactly.
I have a good team. We've been very active. You know, we last held this riding in 2000, so we're working very hard and put in all the pieces to win this riding on October 19.
Exactly. Well, you guys are being very vocal, and that's a good thing. Everyone getting your voice out there, and everyone's listening to you and hearing what you guys have to say. So tell us a bit about yourself if people don't know a little bit about you and how you got to this point.
Well, you know, some of your listeners will know I'm originally from Williams Lake. My father was the first South Asian to settle there in the 50s. I was raised there. My father was disabled when I was young. My mom washed floors and dishes to support the family. We learned the value of hard work, living within your means, and solidarity. And those are the values that I've carried throughout my life. I went back to Williams Lake and practiced law there for 12 years. Attracted attention as a lawyer, and for good reasons. And we moved here to Kamloops in 1996 when I was appointed a judge at the tender age of 37. I was on the bench here for 11 years. And then I've moved on to higher education at University of Oxford, working in international human rights. And in this community as a lawyer. And I've continued to carry those values that are shared Canadian values of, you know, living within your means, hard work, where everybody gets their fair share, does their fair share, and plays by fair rules, into this political campaign. And that's why I'm running. There's a vision of our country that's being eroded. And we have conflict, and we have tremendous damage, and the economy is stalled, and we're not making the right decisions to move our country forward. And that's why I decided to enter the race and seek the seat for Parliament.
That's excellent. So it's kind of a personal thing, as well as you want to help out your community as well. And being a human rights lawyer as well kind of plays into that. Did that kind of push you towards this as well a bit?
Well, you know, I believe I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Canada, a Canada that was very good to me and gave me a chance to realize my potential. You know, things were very hard at home, and I was prepared to work hard, as I say, but I couldn't have done it on my own. There was a fair and generous Canada that gave me a help up the ladder, and we're losing that. These days, life is very, there are challenges for the middle class and families to make ends meet. Families are working harder and falling further behind. We have policies that are benefiting the wealthiest few. Young people cannot afford to go to university. Our healthcare system is being cut back. Social safety net is being eroded, pensions are being reduced. And so this kind of fairness where we take care of each other and we say we're one people is being eroded, and I feel an obligation, as do many Canadians, to keep Canada as a leading country of the world. And so we need to, and I felt that one needed to enter the race to fix the damage and move Canada forward and put it back on track, to allow Canada to realize its full potential, and also a country where no one is left behind. And we're losing that. And so it's a responsibility to do this for a country that's been good to me. And I'm prepared to do that and
to be the voice of the people that way.
That's what I try to do.
That's excellent. Well, yeah, it's been said, and you mentioned this too, that you want to fix the damage that Harper has done. So how would you go about doing this? Like, if people want to come and say, Bill, how are you going to go about doing this? Why should I vote for you?
Right. So, you know, all my life, 32 years as a lawyer and as a judge, on a daily basis, I have been working solving problems for people. Some of the most intimate, most devastating problems. So I'm a problem solver and a good listener. And that means, you know, you have to be a strong advocate, a person of principle, and dedicated to serving the public. That's one as an individual. On a political level, Tom Mulcair and the NDP have a concrete practical plan, you know, to kickstart the economy. That's our first priority, is to create jobs. You know, Mr. Harper has admitted that now he's into a second recession on his watch, 8 straight deficits, $150 billion in debt. And we know household debt is at a record level, incomes are stagnating, people with children cannot afford childcare, pensions are being cut back, health care is being cut back. So, you know, there's no shortage of issues.
Right.
But the practical thing is that we need to kickstart the economy through investments in infrastructure, not on an election cycle, but on a steady, predictable basis, because our roads, bridges, and municipal infrastructure is terribly in need, and interest rates are low. It's a good time to kickstart the economy there. We propose cutting taxes and have hiring incentives for small and medium-sized business, good local jobs. And also innovation tax credit to help businesses improve their productivity, improve products, and we need a champion for our business, for our exports.
Right.
Our resources, which we have an abundance of, all our projects are stalled. Mr. Harper can't get to yes because he's politicized the processes and gutted the environmental protection. So we know we can grow the economy and protect the environment. It's about leadership and values. So practical things like no more than $15 a day universal affordable childcare to help families that are struggling with the cost of childcare.
Right.
$15 an hour minimum wage. People should have a livable wage. People should not be working and not being able to put the basic necessities on the table.
Right.
And also retirement security with an aging population. You know, Mr. Harper has increased the OAS rate to 67. Well, Canada Pension Plan's the envy of the world. It needs increased benefits. The average benefit is only $650 per month.
Wow. People
can't live on that. So we need to improve that, and it's very doable, and the pension experts say that's what we should do. And also we know that that will save the billions that come out of the public treasury to pay for OAS with an aging population. And we need innovation and imagination in our health care. Mr. Harper's cut $36 billion from health care, again with an aging population.
Right.
We have gridlock in our emergency rooms. We have people that are struggling caring for elder parents and so forth, but we need community and long-term home care. We need nurse practitioners to alleviate the shortage of doctors and help out. A good prescription plan which saves costs because people aren't taking their drugs and their problems become more serious.
Right.
And the bottom line is, though, is that we have a universal public healthcare system where no matter what your illness, you're taken care of. And the key to that is having healthy people.
Right.
So everybody should have a right to a healthy meal and prevention programs. And we're not talking about that because Mr. Harper refuses to even meet with the premiers and address these fundamental issues, and he's thereby eroding health care. $36 billion in cuts in the last budget omnibus bill.
Wow.
And finally, I think there's another really key issue, and that is the erosion of our democracy. You know, we have a cynicism and a coarseness with the Harper government. It's always about us and them, negative attack ads, playing from the Republican playbook, manipulating the elections laws, disrespect of veterans, attacking the Chief Justice, omnibus bills, and now Bill C-51 and C-24, where we create a category of second-class citizens. It's not the Canadian way. So I believe that, you know, New Democrats represent an unwavering commitment to shared Canadian values where everybody gets their fair share, does their fair share, and plays by fair rules, and no one left behind.
Excellent.
And it's about leadership.
Yeah.
And that's what this election is about. So 4 more years of Harper, or we believe that New Democrats are ready for real change, and we're ready to meet that challenge, and we're well placed to do that in this riding to replace Stephen Harper and his local representative.
Excellent. Well, I love how passionate you are and how much you care about all the things that the NDP care about as well. So you're a great candidate for them. And we have info on the screen for you there if you'd like to get a hold of Bill and his team. If you want to support the campaign, head on over to the website. Thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Great. Good luck.
Thank you.
We've got more Midday coming up for you right after this.